is a verb, love is a doer. Feathers on my breast.
So, tell me about this.
So yeah, this is yacon. It's kind of a wimpy example of a yacon, but this is one of the little crops that I've gotten kind of excited about that we're growing here in between our fruit trees at the food forest. So we have our fruit trees planted every 30 feet, and in between that space we have a lot of perfect habitat to grow other crops, because with 30 feet in between our trees, it's going to take a long time for our trees to grow up to maturity and to be able to touch. So in between our fruit trees, we're planting things like yacon, cassava, papayas. We're planting edible hibiscus and support species like this pigeon pea and Suspania. Yeah, you try this though.
Okay.
It's a little muddy.
It's all good.
Well, systematically taken out of our system and fed to the fruit trees, and then in the in-between time we have things, we have crops like this that we actually will have for consumption as we're waiting for all of our fruit trees to mature. So yeah, this intercropping is what they call it, and right now our system is really dense with trees, and some of the other rows we've already started to take out some of our support species and feed them to the trees so we could let in more light, since it's winter time now and our trees could take a lot more light. It's a living, breathing food system now. It's we could walk away from this system and it'll continue to grow and really not need us anymore. But to get the most out of the system, we're systematically taking out these trees so these other trees can get more light, the ones that we actually want. Yeah, this is part of the forest that really hasn't been liberated yet. So the trees are really densely packed in here. What we're trying to do is stack in vertical space and also stacking in time. So that's why we're planting things that are going to take 3 years to harvest, and we're planting things like papayas that are only going to take 9 months. So we're always getting a yield at different times.
So that's what you mean by like systematically planting. Okay.
Yes. So when we first started this project, like I was saying, it was all cardboard. There's a little bit of remnants of cardboard on some of the ground still. And this whole thing was all cardboard, and we had squash planted everywhere, and we reaped about 400 pounds of squash out of this system. Well, in this section of the forest, we just recently cleared out our in-between section, so we got rid of most of our nitrogen fixers that were in between our berms, and now we have about 15 feet space that will be open for us to replant in the in-between. So we have papayas in the in-between sections, and then these are our fruit trees, and now we have all that's left is our berms right here on both sides of this are still filled in with our nitrogen fixers, which are mostly pigeon pea. This is that's Suspania, and this is Glaracidia. And Glaracidia is a nitrogen fixer that they use a lot with cacao, which is chocolate.
Yeah.
And so this is called Madre de Cacao, which is like mother of the cacao. So usually wherever you see chocolate, you have this one planted above it because it gives it shade and it gives it nitrogen. So right now we've eliminated all of our nitrogen fixers in the in-between space to give light to our fruit trees, and we're just going to leave all of our nitrogen fixers on the basins so they block out some of the light, and we continuously feed the fruit trees. Scrap that we're leaving on the ground here is going to create organic matter for our trees, and is going to create a forest floor and pass forward here. You see, when I open this up, there's all kinds of bugs that just go crazy because all those little pill bugs and ants and everything are eating all this waste that we're dropping, and they're turning it into a forest floor for us. So they'll turn that into nice dark humus for us, and that way you create healthy soil, and when your soil is healthy, you'll have healthy trees, and you don't need to have as much fertilizer or pest control or any other kind of not natural thing. So what we're trying to do here is to create a food forest and fast forward. So that's why we're chopping this up. We're just pretty much big ants and beavers moving around biomass to help the forest. So yeah, and we get papayas out of it. Yeah, agricultural, you know, pre-annual food systems based on permaculture principles. That's what we're trying to move towards.
The